All right, welcome into our first ever preseason record predictions on Fernie Junk Ball. We're going to be predicting all 2025 records here and going over some things about each team. All right. So we're going to start right off with the Green Gators. The Green Gators are the defending champions. Their last year's record was 11-7. This team really came out of nowhere. Really just flourishing in the playoffs. Some key points before we get into the predictions here. By the way, the predictions are all just what I feel as the commissioner. Nothing personal. Obviously, people are going to prove these wrong. It's just kind of gets some people motivated, you know. So their key points are they're returning their whole roster. These guys always have a slow start. These guys always cook in the playoffs, and they're looking to go back to back. And they're always a Cinderella. No matter where they are, you can't count them out. Last year's run was a Cinderella run. That was awesome, and we can't wait to get them going. So the first series, I do think they fall to the Ocean Sharks, and I also think they lose back-to-back weeks to the Aces. And then I think they get two sweeps, Series 3 and Series 4. And then for the Ball Busters, I think they win that one, and then the final week, I think they do fall to the Crotch Rockets with a final record again with 11-7. And now moving on to the River Rats. So the River Rats last year finished 12-6. Some of their key factors are new additions of Gavin Mitchell and Wyatt Preston. They're the top dog right now in the AL as of now. The pitching depth, they have three star pitchers, Gavin Mitchell, Wyatt Preston, and manager Carter Fernstein. And the last thing for the key factor is no more Patriots. These guys have had their number for the last, 4 years. So this is definitely their time to wake up. I do think they fall to the Crotch Rockets in the first series. I think it's just going to be a little bit of a windy road for them in the beginning, trying to figure out chemistry. I think they do sweep the Wildcats, win 2 out of 3 with the Bomb Squad, sweep the Dinger Demons, win 2 out of 3 against Blue Ballers, and then lose the season finale to the Ocean Sharks with a final record of 12-6 again. Listen, these guys always surprise you. Sometimes they don't take the game serious. If they win the first 2 games, they kind of just throw the last one. So manager Carter Fernstein tries to, check out what he's got. So he doesn't really care about the regular season record. He really cares about the playoffs. So don't really look too far into the record. I think they'll be just fine with a 12-6 overall regular season record. Now to the Aces. Aces, this is a huge one. Finished 7-11 last year. Not ideal for manager Jake Fernstein. So some new additions. Got Hunter Young from the Patriots. Re-signed Brian Hurlbut. Brought his sister back, Megan Fernstein, and then signed Corey Monticelli. So those are 4 huge pieces with Jake Fernstein and Kevin Perry looking to bounce back this season. The big question mark is what Aces team is going to show up, right? Or is it going to be the first-year Aces squad that comes out and makes it to a World Series? We don't really know. After a 7-11 season, it's kind of tough to bounce back. But this is hopefully with new additions and people that want to win with that. And then the pitching is a big question mark. Obviously, you got Kevin and Jake, but Jake kind of struggled last year. He was more of a hitting guy, so they really got to figure that out early. But overall, I think they'll be fine. I think they do sweep the opening series and also take 2 out of 3 against the Green Gators. I think they sweep the Ballbusters, beat the Crotch Rockets, and then 2 sweeps at the end there against In It to Win It and the Storm Strikers with a final record of 16-2. So this team could either go 16-2 or this team could go 12-6. I could see them also, if they really fell apart, I could see them going 9-9. But I really don't think so. I think this is their year to really get back into the swing of things. So National League is going to be competitive. Now for the Crotch Rockets. Last year finished 16-2. Best record in a while besides the 2023 Patriots finishing 17-1. The key factors: full roster returns, regular season team. We choke in the playoffs. I'm not gonna lie. Like the Crotch Rockets do choke in the playoffs. It's happened twice. Hopefully we get over the hump. We'll see. The home run dependent. It's either home run or nothing really. Some games. We relied a lot on the home runs last year, hoping to become a single team, but overall, the defense has been good. Seth Collins out in center field. Defenses were the strong suit for the Crotch Rockets. Pitching is all right. It's a little shaky sometimes, but overall, decent team. I think we do beat the Riverettes 2 out of 3, but that can go either way. I think that's going to be a great opening series. Ballbusters in it to win as a sweep. Lose the series to Aces, sweep the Storm Strikers, and then win 2 out of 3 against the Green Gators like they did last year, finishing with a 14-4 record. Obviously, this can go either way. I think Riverettes could easily beat us. I think Ballbusters can steal a game, and I do think we could beat the Aces. It depends on who's playing well at a certain time. This is going to be a really competitive season, and without being locked in, there's going to be some teams that steal some games. All right, now on to the Ocean Sharks. Ocean Sharks are a new team. It's basically all the Patriots besides Hunter. So new team, power hitters, Nate Barkham, Bryce Flynn, Drake Love are the main three there. They got Michael Herrick for some speed, and Cameron Francis never played before, but he'll be a good asset for them. They're a wild card team, man. You don't know what's going to happen. They can either really come out here and show everyone what's up, maybe be the new Patriots, or, might not do as well as everyone thinks. So they're going to really have to prove themselves. I do think they'll have some good year. So I think they do beat the Green Gators and the Blue Ballers to start. I think they sweep the Wildcats. I think they beat Bomb Squad, Dinger Demons, and the Riverettes 2 out of 3, finishing with 13-5, finishing first in the AL. I think either way, Series 6 is going to be huge for the Riverettes and Ocean Sharks. I do think that's going to be the champion of the AL division. The only one I could really think of right now that could run up with them is Blue Ballers. So I'd pay attention to Series 2 and Series 6, but a 13-5 predicted record there for the Ocean Sharks. The Blue Ballers' last year record was 8-10. Key factors: who will show up? The question is, who's going to show up? Is Taylor Mitchell going to show up? Is Zach Monticelli going to show up? Is some of the other pieces going to show up? Manager of the year, Aiden Beckstead, he definitely put some time getting all of his guys. So credit to him, and some new additions is Zach Monticelli. Topani LeBreak's another good one. So we'll see if they can do that. I think they do go 2-1 against Ballbusters and the Ocean Sharks, and also the Dinger Demons, while also sweeping the Wildcats. Going 1-2 against the Riverettes, and then 2-1 against the Bomb Squad, finishing with a 12-6 record. If their star pitcher Taylor Mitchell shows up. If not, this team could go 6-12, right? It's nothing against them. I just think that Taylor really lifts their ability to play, and I think Aiden Beckstead is really going to hound in on him. He really created a good team here, and he's been probably the most active manager all the last 2 years. So kudos to him, and he can definitely run for manager of the year this year, turning his team around. 8-10 last year. Now what can they do? That's a big question, and I'm very excited to see what they do. The Bomb Squad, 9-9 last year. This is a younger team. They have Cooper Prairie as their captain. He started 4 years ago. He's the youngest ever to play. This could be the breakout season. Can this be their breakout season? And they're a bunch of young ballers. I mean, they showed some life last year, but it was not as competitive. But this year's really competitive, and I think they can either show out or they just, below 500. We'll see. But I think they can bring some noise, and I'm very excited for this young group. Obviously, these predictions are a little wild, but I mean, it's a tough league this year. So these guys can definitely flip these. Aces, they get swept probably. Dinger Demons, I can see them winning that series. Riverettes, I can 1-2. Ocean Sharks 1-2 again. I think they do sweep the Wildcats, and I think they could beat Blue Ballers depending on who's there. And with the overall final record of 7-11, which can be different, I think they could finish 9-9 again. I would not count them out. They're a scrappy team, and I really love watching them. Now for the Dinger Demons, their key factors: mixture of players, a lot of different people on this team. Caden Spoon, Noah Westmacott, Nick DeRushy, JP Bouchard. Those are 4 names that are all from different teams. So Nick DeRushy coming from the Pats, JP coming from the Riverettes. So a lot of different players. Who's their pitcher? Who's going to be the pitching? I'd say they're underdogs in this league, and the dark horse. I think they're a dark horse team. I think these guys can make a run if they really wanted to. They have the hitting ability to do it. I just don't know about their pitching. So I think they do win the first 2 series against In It to Win It and Bomb Squad, and then they lose the next 3 to Blue Ballers, Riverettes, and Ocean Sharks, and then finish the year with a 3-0 sweep of the Wildcats. The final record being 10-8, but don't count them out. I think these guys can make some noise. This is my dark horse team for sure. All right, now for the Ballbusters. The Ballbusters, 5-13 last year. The key question is, how good are they going to be? That's the question mark. how can this team ball out? Are they going to be ballers or are they going to get swept? You know, that's the real question. Who's their pitching staff? These guys have some home run power. I think they have some power in their bats, and it's a Red Rips reunion. This is really kind of a wild card team too. I don't really know too much how they're going to gel together, but I think they have some good pieces here. The Blue Ballers, I think they beat them. I mean, I think they lose to the Blue Ballers, sorry. I think they get swept by the Crotch Rockets and Aces. But then I think they do beat the Storm Strikers, lose to the Green Gators, and then beat the In It to Win It, finishing 6-12. Mind you, I think this is going to go a little bit up more. I think their record will be better than what it is. I would not count them out, for sure. These guys can definitely ball out. In It to Win It, new team. Last year didn't play. Unknown. We don't know how good they're going to be. Fresh new team, new players, never before played. The only guy that's ever played is Micah Murtaugh. New team and a dark horse potential. These guys are valid. I mean, they're valid teams. They have a lot of baseball players, so this team could definitely do it, but they have a tough schedule for a first-year team. Dinger Demons, I think they lose week 1. I think they beat the Storm Strikers 2 out of 3, get swept by the Gators, Crotch Rockets, and Aces. That's a tough stretch right there for them. And then I think they lose to the Ballbusters. I think they lose 2 out of 3 against the Ballbusters, finishing with a 4-14 record. Like I said, this team could either go 9. I think this team could go 9-9, depending on the situation. Aces, Crotch Rockets, and Green Gators all in a row is tough for them for a new team, but they're young, so they can prove themselves. And obviously, nothing matters until the playoffs. Storm Strikers did not play last year. New team. Who's going to show up, man? We don't really know about this team. Cam Bigness is the captain. He's got Colby Ellis on that team. Colby Ellis is a key factor. I think he's going to flourish this year. I think this is his time to shine. Really show all the big teams that he's worth it, and he's going to show he can help his team out. I have no clue who's going to pitch for them, but I know that they're going to bring the heat, and I think they're very excited, and I'm excited to see what the Storm Strikers do. It's always nice getting some new teams in here, new managers. I think they do win the opening series to the Wildcats. I think they take 1 out of 3 against the In It to Win It, get swept by the Green Gators, take 1 out of 3 against the Ballbusters, and then get swept the last 2 against Crotch Rockets and Aces with a 4-14 record. Obviously, I don't know personally how good they'll do. This is nothing personal. I'm just saying I think they can definitely contend with some teams, but being in the NL is going to be tough as a new team. But I think they can definitely prove some people wrong and have a chip on their shoulder with this video. And lastly, the Wildcats, our youngest team. Okay, this is our youngest team by far. New squad. I think these guys are going to play competitive games. I don't know how well they're going to do, like winning-wise. I think they do finish 1-17, but okay, this is not like the Diamond Donkeys. This is not like the Red Rips. I think these guys are going to compete. I think these kids are going to really show how the older guys, the older teams, that they're young prospects and definitely could be potential for signings. But these guys definitely have a tough slate. I do think they win 1 out of 2 against the Storm Strikers in the first week, and then it's going to be a tough road ahead of them. But like I said, these guys are the youngest team. There's nothing really. They're just here to have fun, and that's the whole point of the league. I mean, these guys can definitely shock some people, I think. We don't really know. So I'm really excited. I think these records don't mean anything. These are just predictions, and if they go 1-17, it is what it is. But if they win more, that shows that they're capable of doing it. So don't count these guys out. These guys are awesome, and I can't wait to watch them play. All right. Thank you so much. Please like and subscribe, and make sure to go follow our TikTok to catch all the live streams this season. We'll be making sure to catch you guys on the flip side and posting some videos later on. But appreciate you guys watching, and leave your predictions down in the comment section. Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you on opening day, May 29th, 5 o'clock, Storm Strikers versus Wildcats. Thank you guys.